Hello, beautiful vegans. Welcome to Empowered Vegans, the show that inspires and empowers vegans to live their best lives. I'm Mariquita Solis, and I am excited to bring you a wealth of information about nutrition today. Let me know who's watching. I see that we're not streaming on Facebook, even though I thought we were. That's okay. So y'all, let me know where you're joining from. We have a wonderful guest here, and he's going to answer all your questions. He's joining from the UK. Olivier Mankondo is here. He is a wellness coach, and he's going to share his story of overcoming diseases and poor nutrition into living an inspired, great health today. So welcome, Olivier.
Thank you very much for having me. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, let me know, how long have you been vegan, or plant-based, vegan? When did you start your journey? Tell me about that. And what inspired you to take action to change your life?
Yeah. So basically, I made the change. I went vegan in 2016, so it's been 7 years. Basically what's happened is that before 2016, my health was not good. I had lots and lots of problems. I was suffering from high blood pressure, and people should know that 50% of heart attack and strokes are created by high blood pressure. So high blood pressure is something that it's basically a silent killer, and people really need to be aware of that. So I was suffering from high blood pressure. I had massive headaches every day or every other day, and in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time because of that. I had dandruff, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain, and a lot of dental problems because of my bad eating habit. And at that time, my weight was 320 pounds, and I'm only 5'6". So I was classed as obese. If you look at the BMI chart, if your BMI is over 30, you're classed as obese. And my BMI was 32. So at that time, I was feeling always tired. All the time I was tired. And I remembered when I was going to work, on the day that I had to go to work, I was dragging myself out of bed. And on the day when I was off work, I was sleeping until 1 p.m. because I was so tired. And I remember that last place when I was working in a basement. So I had to climb the stairs all the time. And because of that, I was always tired. So I was hard of breath climbing the stair up and down and all that. And then because of that, I couldn't even tie my shoelace. I had a very big belly, very big belly. So I would even ask my kids to tie the laces for me and all that. And then one day, just by chance, I happened to watch a video on YouTube, and there was an Indian yogi who suggested that by stopping eating animal products, it was possible to reverse 70% of the chronic diseases. And because at that time my health was not pretty good, I said to myself, what am I losing? Because at that time when I went to see my doctor, when he diagnosed me with high blood pressure, he told me that I would be on medication for the rest of my life. And but at that time, even though I didn't know what I know now, I said, no, I don't want to take medication for the rest of my life. I refused. And he told me, okay, what are you going to do? I said, okay, I'm going to do some martial arts. So I went and joined a karate club thinking that my blood pressure will go away, but there was no change. So when I saw that program by that Indian yogi, I said, okay, I've got nothing to lose. Let me try it. So it was a certain Wednesday that I watched that program, and I watched it. On Thursday, I went to work. When I came back, I had my last meal of meat, and on Friday, I went cold turkey. And what happened is that the following week, I had loads and loads of detox symptoms. So for 3 days, I had massive headaches that I've never had in my entire life. I had more cold sore, more my joint starting to ache even more. I was feeling very tired, and at that time, my wife even asked me to stop because the symptoms was very, very bad. But I said, no, 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 I'm going to continue. I'm not going to stop. And after a week, it just stopped. I starting to feel lots of energy, lots of mental clarity, and I lost 11 pounds in 1 week. And because of that, and that's really what I want people to understand is that when they change their diet and they go through these detox symptoms, they don't have to think that it's the what they're eating which is doing that. It's just that the body will find new energy, because when you're eating plant-based food, the body spends less energy digesting all these things, all this food. Your body will find more energy, and with that energy, your body will try to heal you. And the way the body heals you is that it's going to go deep into your tissues, bring up all the toxins, dump that in your bloodstream, so that you can get all this toxin can get expelled, and that's why you will have all these detox symptoms. Some people will start smelling bad. Some people will have headaches. Some people will have some rashes, some skin rashes. There's lots of stuff, and people will say, "Oh, it's bad. It's not working." But that's exactly how the physical body detoxifies itself. And if you can go through that, you will see that after that you'll be fine. And for me, like I said, I continued. And then after 4 months into my change, I went back to see my doctor, and he told me that my blood pressure was completely gone. And after 9 months, I was able to lose 77 pounds. And for the past 7 years, I've not been sick a single day.
Oh my
So that's a little bit my story. And for the past 9 years, I've not taken even, no, 8 years, I've not taken even a single pill. So basically, that's what got me started.
That's amazing. Well, let me ask, what did your doctor say when you came back and then your blood pressure is normal? Did he ask you about your diet, and what did they say, or did she ask you about the diet?
Yeah, the doctor asked me. I told him that, oh, I went plant-based, and I saw the look on his face. It's like it's like he was asking, what's this guy talking about? It's like you cannot reverse high blood pressure with a diet. It's not possible. So that's what the look on his face was telling me. So basically, I don't even think that he believed what I was telling him. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's funny but sad. It's true though. It's very, very true. The doctors, they just, well, I don't know. It's amazing. So
Yeah.
what about your family? What did they think? And you said that your wife wanted you to stop, right? And what were you eating then during that week?
Yeah.
The
So
week
during that week, basically, I was just eating all the stuff that I used to eat, but except I stopped all the animal product, I stopped the dairy product and the processed food. So I was eating stuff like rice, mushrooms, potatoes, just stuff like that. And basically, what happened is that I was lucky that 2 weeks after I starting my this transformation, my wife she saw that I had lots of energy. I was completely different and all that, and she said, "Okay, I will do that as well." So she went on that as well, and for her, she was even able to lose 99 pounds.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. She was able to lose 99 pounds. So I was really blessed that because a lot of people, when they want to change like that, maybe their spouse or their partner will be against that. But for me, luckily, she was okay. So after 2 weeks, she joined me as well. And then after a month, we sat our kids and we told them that, okay, we found that being plant-based is something, it's very good. And all the family will go plant-based. Yeah, at the beginning, they were not happy. They were not happy, but today they really thank me for that. For
How
example,
old were they?
when we started, because now my eldest son is 25, so it was 7 years ago. He was what's this, 18?
Mhm.
He was 18. The other one, the girl, was 15. and the other one was 13, and the last one was 5. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, for example, for my the third one, David, uh, he had eczema for 11 years. We saw doctors; they prescribed all sorts of creams, but there were no changes. But when we adopted this plant-based nutrition, it only took 2 weeks for his entire eczema to disappear completely. So it was 11 years on medication, no changes. We went on plant-based nutrition, 2 weeks, everything was gone. So there was lots of changes, and even my youngest son, like I said, when we adopted this plant-based nutrition, he was 5. Today he's 12. And the other day when I was talking to him, he told me that he can't even remember the taste of meat. And I was really, really surprised.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love that story. It's very powerful. People don't know how powerful it is. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm very inspired by that. I love hearing the whole family. I'm looking at here's Cassandra's joining us. And yes, I know what she said. It's impossible to join on Facebook. I don't know. Technology. I tried to get us connected, but thank you for she's working in France to slowly plant seeds, planting seeds here and there, not slowly, but she's waiting patiently for the seeds to grow. As we all know how that, it might take years, sometimes it takes months. And for you, how old were you when you changed?
Yes, when I changed, I was 46. Today I'm 53. So this is as well for people who think that it's too late to change. It's not. It's better late than never. But what people need to understand is that when in the culture we've been told that it's normal that when we age we need to become sick, and everybody think that's the way to go. It's like me when I was sick. I said, okay, all my friends, we are all the same age, we are sick, so it's normal. But it's not, because when you eat the wrong food, you adopt the wrong lifestyle, yes, you will be sick. But I was 46, I was sick. Today I'm 53. For the past 7 years, I've not been sick a single day. So I really, really want people to understand that it's possible to live a disease-free life. It's possible. So, for example, in my house, I don't even have one medication. There's nothing, because there's no one who gets sick, even my kids. So it's possible to really live a disease-free life. And that's what people need to understand. Being healthy is the default, and not being sick. It's like, for example, when you look at animals in the forest, they've got no vets over there. But how do they live? Because for me, I'm not a religious guy, but I think that there's a higher something, or God or something like that. It exists. And I think the same wisdom that they've put in these animals is the same wisdom that we've got in us. So if they can live without having vets around them, normally it's possible for us to do the same. But it's because we don't follow the laws of nature, and that's why we become sick. And for me, I really think that every species has got its own a specific diet. But apparently, it's only human beings who can eat whatever they want, and they expect to be in good health. And I don't think that's right. If we start eating the food biologically designed for our system, for our mechanism, we start letting inside us the right information and stuff like that, because we need to control whatever we eat and the thought that goes into our mind. Because when you are scared, when you entertain a lot of emotions, negative emotions, such as anger, jealousy, envy, hatred, all these things will make you sick. Because when you have all these negative emotions, I'm not saying that people cannot get sad or cannot get angry. No, it's when you get when you entertain that for a very long time, or a long time, then your body will produce adrenaline and cortisol. adrenaline will mess up your heartbeat. Your heart will start beating irregularly, and the cortisol will impair your immune system. And when your immune system is impaired, you'll be open to any kind of diseases. So we are holistic beings. We need to look at what we eat and the thought or the emotions that we entertain all the time. For example, as well, we need to avoid stress. Stress as well is bad. We need to rest, have enough rest. We need to get moving, because a lot of people they are just lazy. They just don't want to move and all that. When you do all these things together, basically it's going to be very difficult for you to become sick. And that's really the message that I want people to understand, that it's possible to live a disease-free life.
Right. When they're eating what our natural diet is, we've stepped away so much from that. It's
Yeah.
it's incredible how far we've stepped away from the natural diet, and when we are eating that, we're thriving.
Yeah.
So well, let me ask you, what did your friends think? Because you said your friends were not doing well, it sounds like, at the same time as you were, well, this is part of life. We're all sick, and that's normal. What did they think when you changed your diet?
Yes. So when I changed my diet, my friends and my extended family, so my mom, my dad, my sisters, and all that, they didn't understand what I was doing, and some of them thought that I went crazy. So they didn't understand what I was doing. So in all my extended family, there's only my brother who has become vegan. But my sisters, my mom, my cousin, all of them, they say they don't want to hear that. They don't want. And my friends as well, they didn't want to hear that. And some people even make some comment, because I lost a lot of weight. Like I just said, I lost 77 pounds. And some people started to make fun of me. They started to say that I'm maybe HIV positive, and they started to make lots of bad comments. But today, the same people who were making fun of me, they are coming now to ask me for advice, because they can see that I've completely transformed my life. And like I've just said, for the past 7 years, I've not been sick a single day. But all of them, they are sick and all that. They get, some of them have been operated, and even my best friend, he died. He died last year. He died on the 27th of November 2022. So it's been a year and 2 days. My best friend, he died of prostate cancer. And for example, for him, I sat him down. I told him, change your diet, change your diet. But unfortunately, he was willing to do that. But like I've just said, his wife was against. She said no. And yeah, his wife was really against that. She didn't want to hear that. But that, for me, I'm pretty sure if he changes his diet, his lifestyle, he would have been alive today.
That's very, very sad. And we're coming up against these traditions that are so strong, that this mindset of, why are people against it so much? I'll let you you tell me. What is it why are they saying, no, I will not eat this way?
Yeah, I think if they say no, it's because we have been brainwashed this way. As soon as you get born, they tell you that you need meat. And they tell everybody that without meat, you're not going to have your protein. And people are scared. It's like, for example, my sister told her to go vegan. She said, okay, I'll try that. After 1 day, she called me and she said, okay, I feel weak. I don't have enough protein, so I can't do that anymore. So it's because of all the information that are circulating in on the internet. And usually you will see it's a scientist who will put this thing, oh, you need protein, you need this. But when you go down the rabbit hole, you will see that all these studies have been paid by the food industry. So it's the food industry who have paid those scientists to do those studies. That's why they will tell people that you need your protein, and you can only have protein from meat, and people need to eat that. Or they will tell them that when you eat eggs, there's loads and loads of protein, there's loads of nutrients, and people need to have that. And even the doctors, because people think that when they see the doctors with the white coat, it's like when they say something, it's like the gospel. So if the doctor tells you that you need to eat meat, and people like me will tell you that you don't need that, they're not going to listen. They're not
They're not
going to
going to listen
listen.
to us.
No.
No, I know this is very disappointing, but you're right. And it's so sad to see so many people, they're crippled with arthritis and then with heart disease, and they can't get out of their cars. And like you were saying, like you couldn't bend over to tie your shoes because you were so heavy. I mean, that's a horrendous way to live. I mean, you're just weighted down. I can't imagine that. And then you're not getting the nutrients when we're eating all these processed foods. We're not getting the nutrients, and people are saying, I mean, that's the weird thing is we're really not getting the nutrients, but they really are wanting to get the nutrients. They say, I got to get my protein, but they're not aware. It's just a disconnect, right?
Yeah.
They're not
Because
aware of it. This is it. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, you just don't understand what's going on. Because for me, if you have to look, for example, you will see a doctor is overweight, and he gets sick and is giving you advice of how to get better. But me, I've not been sick for the past 7 years, so I think I'm in a way qualified to tell you what to do to not to be sick. But people will not listen to me because I'm not a doctor. And some people, when you start giving them advice, the first question they will ask you, are you a doctor? If you said no, they just disqualify whatever you can say, even though it's true. Because if, for example, eating meat was that important, I would have had some deficiency, but I'm not deficient. And when you look, for example, at the biggest land animal on earth, it's the elephant. The elephant doesn't eat meat. Where does he get his protein from? You look at the gorilla. We share 99% of the same DNA. But what do gorilla eat? They eat fruit, vegetables, and tender roots. They do not eat meat. But look how muscular they are, how powerful they are. Where did they get the protein from? And people cannot understand that. They cannot grasp that. How this land and these big herbivores, look how how they strong they are, but they don't eat meat. Where do they get their protein from? They need
It
to ask
seems very
themselves
simple.
these questions. Very simple, but for us, when you tell them that a human being doesn't need this kind of the protein coming from the animals, they will think that no, you're talking maybe some nonsense. While that's the truth. Or for example, they will tell you you need the only source of calcium is dairy milk. You need cow's milk. But when you look at stuff like kale, spinach, broccoli, all these things are packed with calcium. But in the scientific literature, they don't tell you about that. They will only tell you that the only source of calcium is milk. And because people have been brainwashed by that since they were born, it's difficult for them to change their belief system. And that's why they don't want to change. Even for example, as well, my uncle, he died last year, diabetes.
Oh,
What if I not told him? I've told him everything. I've told him, change your way of eating. Because you cannot die from diabetes. Diabetes is not something that where you have to be put on medication for the rest of your life. You just change your lifestyle, your diabetes will go away. He didn't listen to me, and he died last year. It's very
oh,
sad.
it is very sad. It's incredible. And I worry about my friends that feel like, well, I know there's someone that, someone that told me her husband lost his foot. I didn't understand that. So you can just go on, you can be walking around with diabetes and you don't know it. You get an infection on your foot and that's it. Your foot's gone, because, and it's very scary. And to try to warn my friends or try to warn people and they don't listen, it's like a time bomb. Well, I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was Dr. Furman that was saying that, about the standard American, about prostate cancer and certain diseases. He said, well, it's normal to get these diseases. Yes, it's normal for the standard American diet. If you're on the standard American diet, because some of my friends were like, well, that's normal to get prostate cancer. Everyone has it. Yes, it's normal if you're eating that way. Right?
Exactly.
And when have we said that it's okay and normal? This is really crazy when you think about it, that it's normal to get these things, and we just go along with it when we're not aware that there's a different way to live.
Yeah. And that's very unfortunate, because it's really ingrained in people's mind that it's normal to be sick. When you age, you need to be sick. That's what people know. You need to have prostate cancer. You need to have diabetes. You need to have problem with your kidneys. So for people, they've accepted that's the way of living. While it's not. You just change your way of eating and everything should be fine. Because even when you look at the people will tell you that no, maybe it's possible to have all these diseases in your genes. But when you look, you will see that there's only 1%, 1 to 5% of diseases which are created by genes. If you have a defective gene, it's only for 1 to 5%. But 95% is related to the lifestyle, the way you eat. And that's what people don't understand. They think that, oh, I've got a cancer gene, or I've got a cancer because in our family, the diabetes run in our family. No, the diabetes run in your family because all of you eat the same food. That's all. Because when you look at my family, there's a lot of people. My uncle died last year of diabetes. My granddad died of diabetes. My grandma, I've got 2 uncles who died of diabetes. So they say that the diabetes run in our family. But you look at my brother. I told you that there's only my brother who went vegan. He was already pre-diabetic. Today it's gone.
That's
Just like me,
wonderful.
just like me, he lost 80 pounds. You can see. So you cannot say that it run in the family because we eat the same food. You change your way of eating. And when you look, for example, in my entire family, when you look at my mom, my dad, my cousin, it's only me and my brother who are not sick. All of them, some of them have been operated, some of them, you always hear. For example, now my auntie, she's in South Africa. She wants to have an operation because she's not well. But it's only me and my brother. It's not a coincidence.
Right. Well, your brother, so did he immediately go with you? I mean, how long did it take for him to switch over? He saw your transformation. Did it take a year? Did it take, 6 months, or did?
Yeah, it took around 9 months as well. Because what's happened is that when I changed my way of eating, I didn't tell him anything. I didn't tell him, even though we are very close. I'm very, very close with my brother, but I didn't tell him anything. So I think after 4 months, he came to visit me, and he was really, really surprised to see that I've lost a lot of weight. I said, no, I didn't want to tell you. I wanted you to see me in person. So I explained to him what I was doing, and he stayed in my house, I think, for 3 days. And for those 3 days, he didn't have any meat and all that. And after those 3 days, he's starting to feel the difference. And as soon as he went back home, he threw all his meat, and he went cold turkey as well. So that's the
Wow.
only one. Yeah, yeah,
That's amazing, though. Those are great
yeah,
stories, because sometimes we just feel like, oh my gosh, nobody is going to listen. But I love it now that you said that your family's coming back to you now, some of them. And,
yeah,
and just you and your brother, I mean, that's tremendous impact that you have. They see you. I mean, in the back of their minds, they know. The question is when will they be ready to listen?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I've told them that it's not normal to be sick. You don't have to suffer. You just have to start eating the food biologically designed for the human mechanism. You start entertaining positive emotions most of the time. You should be fine.
That's very true. And Cassandra has a good point here. She's saying in France, it's normal to have diabetes and different cancers, overweight, etc., because they eat unhealthy food like meat, eggs, fish, but they include the illness in advance. Yeah, I mean, it's something normal that we accept. Meat addiction includes illness in their package.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that's very important to talk about. I mean, these addictions that people don't even realize they have, like the addiction
Yeah.
to cheese.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what people think that, oh no, you're addicted maybe to drugs, heroin, cocaine, cigarettes, beer. But I think the biggest addiction is food addiction, and people don't even know that it's food addiction. And a lot of people, that's the way they've been. They grow up, and that's the only thing that they know. They need to eat meat. They need to eat, they drink cow's milk, and all that. And if you tell them otherwise, they will not understand. And when you look as well, all these, because from the research that I've done, I think the biggest industry is the pharmaceutical industry, and they can only live off sick people. You need to be sick for this industry to strive. For example, for me, I said for the past 9 years, I've not had a single pill. So if people need to become like me, the pharmaceutical industry will go bankrupt. They're not going to be able to survive. And when you look, you will see that all these food scientists, they really study how to get people addicted. And you will see in this processed food, as soon as you start eating them, you get addicted, and it becomes very difficult to get off the hook.
Yeah, and we're bombarded with it. As soon as when you turn on the TV, we're just bombarded with those commercials. You go out and you see the billboards everywhere. It's like the chips and all the junk food. It's like, oh my gosh, and it's overwhelming. It's really sad, and I even when I'm in the grocery store, I don't want to look at the aisles, the
Yeah,
processed foods, because I know that it's tempting, right? It's tempting to
yeah,
grab all that junk.
yeah,
But at least, I mean, awareness is very important. So I am aware. I just finished that Cornell, the plant-based nutrition program. So that really, I felt like, wow, that really changed my life. And I'm just learning better ways to cook. Like I had said, with
yeah,
no oil and vegetable broth. And I use the chickpea, what's that called? The chickpea juice, aquafaba in a cake. It was very
yeah,
moist. And so, yeah, I mean, why do I think that's so weird? Because in the past, I would have used eggs, before I was vegan, and that would be normal. But the, the chickpea juice is a lot. I much rather use that than eggs. So it's just these mindsets and the programming, right, that
yeah,
we've been brought up for our whole life, and to break through this programming. And it's amazing that you broke through it and your brother broke through it.
yeah,
And the other family members, I hope they break through it too. So you never know. You never know. That's the
yeah.
thing. So what about your kids at school? Like when your kids switched over, did their classmates, did they come? Did you hear any issues there where they were teased or anything like that?
Uh, Not, no, they were not, but just the the other kids, they were a little bit surprised. They were asking why you're not eating this and that. But the only stuff that has been happening is that because the way my kids are eating, and in the system, they don't accept that. They think that it's not normal. Just very quickly, without getting into too much details, it's just my son. He had for some reason, because he spent that's my I think he spent most of his time on the internet, uh, sitting down and all that, and he had some pain in his bones and all that. So I took him to the chiropractor, and over there they asked him to do some blood test, and he had some blood test, and apparently, according to the blood test, his calcium level was low. And they called me. They said that the doctor called me. They said, no, you need to take him urgently to the uh, to the hospital because his level of calcium is too low. If not, he's going to have a heart attack. And I said, no, I don't think so, because it doesn't have any symptoms. I don't think that it's going to be a problem. Because, yes, his calcium is low compared to meat eater, yes. But I don't think that it's a problem. And just because of that, I had the social services, and it was really, really bad. For 18 months, I had the social services on my back because of that. And I tried to tell to those doctors that because they wanted to convince me that my son could have a problem without having any symptoms, because he was fine. And when I saw the chiropractor after 5 sessions, it was fine. There was no problem anymore. So that's the only problem that I've had with the social services and the doctors, because my kid changed their way of eating.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I mean, they're very resistant to that. And doctors,
Yeah.
they just don't. They never had that education. I don't know about over there, but over here,
No.
it's yeah. I mean, not even 20 hours. I guess they're required to do 20 hours of nutrition, but they don't have to do it. I mean, 20 hours is nothing anyway. So.
Yeah, for me, I even heard that they've got 0 hours of nutrition. They don't have that. So it's like, for example, a mechanic who fixes cars but doesn't know anything about the fuel. It doesn't make any sense. And the doctors are trained just to operate and to prescribe drugs. That's all they do.
Right.
They never, when you go and see them, they don't look at your lifestyle. They don't see if you are stressed or what's going on in your life and all that. They just look at, oh, you've got these symptoms, I need to give you this medication. And like with my son, I told them that it's not going to have any problem. And it's been 18 months. No heart attack like they promised me.
That's crazy. How old?
Yes.
Which son is this?
It was when it started, it was 16, and they had to drop the case because he turned 18 in June. So they couldn't continue with the case. But the last 4 months, the doctor, they just disappeared. They didn't come to the meeting anymore because they could see that what they was telling me was nonsense. It didn't make any sense, because there was, like I was saying, they was trying to convince me that my son could have a problem without any symptoms. You need symptoms. My son they had no problem, but they keep saying he will have a heart attack. He will have a heart attack. I said no. And it created lots of stress in my family because of that, just because we went vegan. And that's why I told
terrible.
them, you're attacking me because I'm vegan. It's not because of something else. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's just say if he did need a calcium, he can get it. You don't have to eat meat to get calcium. That's ridiculous.
Exactly. Exactly. There's lots of stuff. There's, like I said, broccoli, spinach, cauliflower, cabbage. All these things are full of calcium. You just need to eat that. But what they don't understand, when they run all these tests, it's based on people who eat meat. So that's where they made the comparison. It's like me, for example, in 2017, because people keep saying, "Oh, you keep saying that your blood pressure is gone. What proof do you have?" That's why I went to the doctors to have my blood work done, so that I can have something in writing, because people didn't believe. And I remember when I went, the doctors, when they did the test, they told me that my potassium level was too high. And for them, it meant that I had a problem with my kidneys. So they asked me to go for a second time to do the blood test. I went for the second time, and it was the same result. They say, your potassium level is too high. You've got a problem with your kidneys. I said, no, I don't have any symptoms. I don't have any pain. Why are you telling me? And the problem is because every single day I eat bananas. Every single day. And bananas are I've got lots of potassium. And I went for the test in 2017. It's 2023. I still don't have any problem with my kidneys.
Well, I probably have, they probably say I have a problem with my kidneys because I eat bananas every day too.
Yeah. So when they do the test, it's compared to people who eat differently. So, for example, for the calcium, if you take someone who drink cow's milk, yes, when you take his blood test, you do a blood test, the calcium level will be through the roof compared to someone who doesn't drink cow's milk. It's going you're going to have a big difference. But for them, and I think it's wrong when you compare someone who doesn't eat meat and you want to have the same results. It's not going to be possible.
Well, you're right.
And
It's
all
not going to
this,
be possible.
yeah, because I think all these tests, they should do that on vegans and compare vegans to vegans, and then you will be able to know exactly what's going on instead of comparing a vegan with a meat eater. You're not going to have the good result.
Well, that's true. And then when you think about, we're comparing someone that's drinking milk from another species, it doesn't even make sense either. Because I mean,
yeah,
of course, I mean, it's going to be overwhelming because we're trying to, that milk is for a baby cow to grow at an enormous rate.
Exactly. Because when you look at a bull, his weight can be 2,300 pounds. So you need loads and loads of calcium because it's very heavy. And that's why in the cow's milk, you will have loads and loads of calcium. And what people don't understand is that when you drink cow's milk, yes, when they do a blood test, yes, we will have loads of calcium in your bloodstream. But what is more important is the calcium in your bones, because the calcium that circulates in the blood, it's only 1%. 99% is in the bones and all that. So when they take your blood, they cannot really know if you have too much calcium or not. And what is important, you can have lots of calcium in your blood, but what is important is the calcium that goes into your cells. That's what is important. So you can have less calcium in your bloodstream, like when you eat, you don't drink cow's milk, but the calcium which comes from the greens that you eat, that small amount will be able to get into your cells, and that will do the job. That's all you need. You don't have to have loads of calcium circulating in your bloodstream.
And then it's the countries that drink the most calcium, the osteoporosis and issues with the calcium or
exactly
the osteoporosis.
Yes, exactly. And I don't even know if people can see that the countries where the milk intake is very high, it's the country where the osteoporosis is very high. Can they not see the correlation?
No, they don't. They sure don't say that. I mean, that's not what the commercials say, or you know what I mean? The medical community doesn't say that. It's like, now you need more milk. You've got osteoporosis. Now drink more, drink more, drink more. It's, oh my gosh. And with the milk comes the high cholesterol. With the milk comes the cancer risk. All of that goes up, and it's so sad. And you go to a restaurant. This is what kills me. So I was ordering a salad. I wanted a salad, and she said, "Would you like protein with that?" And I said, "Well, I'll have the beans for protein," right? It's like, and we're so, the restaurants will have the list of protein, different animals, right? And it's like, they don't even understand protein. I just want to scream, right? The protein is in plants. That's not even recognized when you go out to eat. Oh, and when, we were talking about that earlier, how people think that we're weak and we look pale and all these stereotypes about vegans, and it's frustrating. I'll say that.
Yeah. And this is just because with all this misinformation, it's difficult. It's like me, for example, I've got my YouTube channel, and I think up to this day, maybe 15 videos have been deleted because they say that it's medical misinformation. So,
Gosh.
I just don't understand. Medical misinformation. And even the other day, maybe a couple of weeks ago, YouTube sent me an email saying that a video that I did shoot in 2020, they deleted that. They said that medical misinformation. I don't know, when you tell people the truth, how come is it medical misinformation?
Well, I see a lot of medical misinformation out there that's not being
Yeah,
deleted, you know?
yeah,
So it's scary, definitely, right? I mean, we all these diseases can be turned around. I mean, many of them can be turned around. They're very preventable, right? And that's just what
yeah,
people don't know. It's like we become the bad guys, or we become the crazy people
yeah,
that
yeah, exactly.
so
Exactly.
yeah.
So there's lots of stuff that's happening that, and that's why I was saying it really, really make me sad to see all these people being sick, my friends, family members. It's make me sad, but I've told them whatever I had to say, but they they don't want to listen. So I said, okay, when you are ready, maybe you'll change. But I hope it's not gonna be too late. Like my uncle, I told him today's not there anymore, or my best friend. Yeah,
That's hard. No, I lost
unfortunately.
my best friend too to a heart attack. That was yeah, I mean, from meat, and so it's very hard. Oh
Yeah.
gosh, but so tell us about where's your YouTube channel? What's your YouTube channel? And tell us about about your wellness coaching.
Yes, my YouTube channel is just you tap my name, Olivier Mankondo, and you'll be able to see that. For my coaching, basically, what I do is that like I said, I've seen that it's possible to live a disease-free life, and usually with my experience, the way I've been able to lose 77 pounds, I've been able to see exactly what I did. I was able to journal all that, and with that, I was able to develop the program, which I call the three-step weight loss and wellness program. So in that program, it's a 16-week one-on-one coaching program where I primarily help women over 30 to lose weight, but more importantly is to for them to reclaim their health, because there's no point of being slim and being unhealthy, because in the culture people think that being slim equals being healthy. It doesn't, because when you look at my uncle again, he died last year. He was very slim, but he died of
Oh,
diabetes. So what I want people is that to reclaim their health, and if you start eating the right food, necessarily you will lose weight effortlessly. And that's what I do in my program. So I've got like, if people go on my website, I've got a masterclass where they can go, they can register for the masterclass, watch it, and towards the end of the masterclass, they get the opportunity or to set up a discovery call with me, a free discovery call. So in this free discovery call, we're going to sit, establish what they got stuck, and if there's a good fit, we can work together, and I will be able to help them to lose weight and reclaim their health. So in a nutshell, that's what I do in my program.
well, that sounds amazing, definitely, and I'm sure it's inspiring to help others. And where do you think most people get stuck?
I think where people the most get stuck is the mindset. They don't have a good mindset, because I think the mindset is very, very important. And that's why, for example, when you look at people at the New Year's resolution, all of them will say, okay, we'll start going to the gym and all that. They will do that for a week, 2 weeks, and then they stop. And basically, in everything that you need to do, you need to have a very good mindset. You need to know why. Your why need to be very strong, because you've got the why power and the willpower. The willpower, but the why power, when you know that you can see why you want to do something, you will do that. It's like, for example, if you've got kids and they are abducted, and they say, okay, you need 50,000 US dollars to so that they can be released. You will work hard. You will do whatever you can to find the money. And that exactly if you are, for example, obese, or you are overweight, or you have a health problem, and if you can transform that in a bigger way, this will give you the drive to be able to change whatever you want to do in life. So I think the biggest hurdle is the mindset. If you can have a good mindset, you can change that. You can adopt a winning mindset. You can see that you remove all those limiting beliefs, and you think that change is possible. Then you will see that you will be able to move forward.
Well, yeah, and then you're a very good example of suffering for a week and then really coming out of that, all that detox and all those headaches, and then having to carry around pills all the time. That must have been horrendous. So that you escaped it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And Cassandra's got another comment. There are so many reasons to go vegan: animal suffering, world hunger, climate change, health, karma. You're right. I mean, she's right. There's so many reasons to go vegan now. I mean, it's incredible the way that our food choices affect our planet. We're in dire situations now. And I was talking to someone in France. I think he had said it rained for 3 months straight. There was flooding, and this was climate change, and terrible. It's time we have to take action. And I mean, all we can do, unfortunately, we can plant seeds, right? But we can't force them to grow. We can tell others, and then we can be there, like you're ready for your family to welcome them when they come. So
definitely. We need to plant seeds that we've got no alternative, and when they are ready, they will be able to do that, because I cannot really condemn them or see, because I think mostly maybe they're afraid. People don't like change. And when you, for example, like me, when I make the switch, I didn't know what will happen. I didn't even know if it was going to work. I didn't know what to eat and all that. So it was like you throw yourself into the unknown. And most people don't like that. They like certainty. They want to be certain. They want to know what's going on. And sometimes in life, you need to take some risk, not uncalculated risk, but you need to take sometimes some risk. And at least, for example, for my family, they can see that I've been through that, and now I can be like a guide for them, which was different for me. I didn't have anybody, but at least for them, they can have a guide. I can guide them. I can tell them what to do, and it's going to be easier for them. And what I just don't understand is that they can see the way I've been transformed. They can see that. They can see that I don't get sick anymore, but I just don't understand why they don't want to change, why they want to continue to suffer like that. I have no idea. I just don't understand.
I know it is. It's really. Oh, I know. I feel the same way. Yes. And Cassandra's got a great point, being the example, because I know she's a wonderful example in France of doing her best, and she's thriving in her older years, right? And so, I mean, we all are. I mean, like here, I'm in my 50s, you're in your 50s. And so that's even more powerful, right? When people see us running around and not tired. I mean, when I sleep well, I mean, like I'm full of energy, right? When I take care of myself, with, of course, eating, but I'm saying also but eating plants, but then also the rest and the positivity and just really laughing and all these things that matter, and being around people to uplift us is very important. Having these live streams like this, right? I feel very inspired by hearing your story. I'm so happy to hear about your brother and your family and your wife. You know, that's amazing. So I'm very lucky.
Yeah, because when you look, I'm 53 now, but there's nothing that I cannot do now that I was able to do when I was 20. So you can see I've got lots of energy. I can still run. There's all the stuff that I was able to do when I was 20, I can do it now. But for a lot of my friends, they can't do that anymore. And I just don't understand why they cannot see that. At least if maybe you see someone on the internet, maybe you can have doubts. But at me, they know me. They knew the way I was and the way I've been able to be transformed. I just don't understand why they cannot take that leap of faith and change, because it's not good to, because the way, even remembering the way I used to feel when I was sick, I just don't want that again. I don't want that feeling anymore. And that's why it's not possible for me to even consider eating animal product anymore. Because sometimes when you go to a party, sometimes my cousin will say, okay, but you can just eat, even today, you can just eat meat. Even today, I said, no, I can't do that. Why would I put myself in this kind of situation? And what people just understand as well is that when you eat all these animals, before they get slaughtered, they go through a lot of negative emotions. They go through anger, depression, fear, and all that. And everything is energy. So when we eat those animals, all this negative energy will be transferred to us. And that's why you will see a lot of people live in depression. They are scared. They live in fear. It's because of all these things. When you kill all these animals, what do you expect? You will be sick.
That's a very good point. You're right. You're right. You're putting in that sadness, that depression, that terror that the animals, yes. And oh my gosh, yes. How could we are energy. So that is, you're taking in that energy, and it's something really to be aware of. I mean, this is an awakening, right? I think that veganism is a spiritual experience, in that you're connected, that we're connected more to the earth, right? More to Mother Earth, to living beings, right? We're awakened on a different level. So I just hope everyone wakes up for their health, for our animals, for the planet, for everything, because it's all connected. It's impossible to separate the way we eat, to separate that from the rest of the world, the earth.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I think for all these big corporations, if people have to go vegan, it means that they're not gonna be able to sell people all the bad stuff, and I don't think that they want that to happen. For example, for me, I eat very, very little of processed food. So, but when you look, for example, as a whole, 51% of what we eat in the world is processed food. 51%, 42% are animal product, and only 7% are fruit and vegetables. And in those 7%, the majority is potatoes to make French fries. So we eat very, very little of fresh produce. And for example, if all these companies have to let go of selling all this processed food, they're going to go bankrupt, and they just don't want that. That's why they need to put conflicting information on the internet, so that people don't know what to do now.
Well, that's very true. There's a lot of confusing. They want us to be confused. You're right. I mean, but really, if we just really think about logically, I mean, there's no confusion about eating things from the earth. So, and that's what you're doing, is hearing to help people do that. So let's tell us again since we're coming to the end of the hour, how can people get a hold of you?
Yeah. So if people want to get hold of me, they can just go to my website, which is oliviermankondo.com. That's oliviermankondo.com, just my name. And they will be able to find all the information about me. If they want to join my program, they can go over there. If they want to buy my book as well, The Plant-Based Nutrition, It's Going to Change Your Life, they can go on my website as well, or they can go on Amazon. They will be able to have that. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I recommend that everybody does that. Definitely. This story is so powerful, your story. And I just say thank you to your family and your brother, and all the ones that are coming, right? All your family members that are going to change. I'm just going to put it out there. You're coming too. We're waiting. We're waiting to hear that you've changed and opened up your minds and hearts. And so, thank you so much for this wonderful conversation, Olivier. I need to practice my French. And thank you, Cassandra, also for watching, and everyone watching on the replay. Everyone, please reach out to both of us. We're all here to help you. And I'm thankful for JJ for introducing us.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. And well, everybody have a beautiful, blessed day, and eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Bye, everybody.